Signs off, gates back, they're off and racing. Sir George Turner jumped out boldly on the outside in the blinkers for the first time. Wider out is Jelani. Jelani on the wide outside. Balakheri is prominent. Bit of luck on the inside in a noseband. They seem to have set off at a good gallop in the blue of Godolphin. Moon Ballad now comes through to possibly shade the overall advantage from Bit of Luck on the rail. Jelani on the outside, then Balakheri and Sir George Turner caught 3 deep on the course. Bollin is next in the red and white jacket. Where or When follows these, and then Hills of Gold and Right Approach is at the back, just having to be chased along for a stride or two there by Kieran Fallon in the colours of Her Majesty the Queen. Covering the first 2.5 furlongs, and it's Moon Ballad from Jelani in second place to George Turner, well poised on the outside. Back on the inside in that noseband is Bit of Luck. Balakheri is fifth from Bollin. Then Where or When, Hills of Gold, and Right Approach looks on from last place. Turning left-handed back towards home then in this convergent Dante Stakes, and it's still the Godolphin representative Moon Ballad that takes them along here from Jelani in second place. Bit of Luck is parked on the inside. Sir George Turner up there on the outside in the red and yellow jacket with the black cap. Bollin trying to get off the fence from Balakheri. Then Hills of Gold, Where or When, and Right Approach. They've got 3.5 furlongs left to cover. Moon Ballad still the target here. Chasing along in second now Sir George Turner on the outside of Jelani and Bit of Luck. The others trying to pick up these leaders. Bollin beginning to stride forward. Then Balakheri and Where or When. Right Approach is out of it and looks like a bit pulled up, and Hills of Gold tailing right off inside the final two. Moon Ballad has got them on the stretch here. Trying to close the gap is Bollin in second place. Sir George Turner has dropped away very tamely indeed. Approaching the final furlong, Moon Ballad 3 or 4 lengths to Bollin. Balakheri staying on the outside. Wider out is Where or When. Still Moon Ballad from Bollin inside the final 50. Moon Ballad wins the Dante from Bollin closing in second all the way to the line. Balakheri third, then Where or When and Jelani. Back to Bit of Luck and the disappointing Sir George Turner, the bitterly disappointing Right Approach, and finally Hills of Gold. Well, Moon Ballad has stirred things up a bit here. Beaten at Newmarket last time out in a close run finish there, edged out by High Down, and has destroyed a few reputations in this convergent Dante Stakes, making most of the running in the hands of Jamie Spencer in the Godolphin colours. Saeed bin Surur winning his second Dante Stakes. He won it back in 1995 with Classic Cliché, who was ridden by our own Walter Swinburne on that occasion. Today it's Jamie Spencer doing the steering, and he just had to keep this visored runner pointed in the right direction down the straight. It looked a horse that was just waiting for other horses to come and catch him at Newmarket last time, but he's kept going well enough today. Bollin was the one that stayed on best inside the final furlong. He looks a progressive horse. He's stepped up on his first time out third at Newmarket to run second behind Moon Ballad here today. And Balakheri also stepping up in class to finish third. But big disappointments in this race. Sir George Turner and Right Approach. Moon Ballad wins the convergent Dante Stakes.
Can this possibly be the best horse Godolphin can produce for the Derby? Surely not. Moon Ballad, 50-1 for the Derby before the race, wins the Dante, 13-2. Joint third favourite, that Moon Ballad. The runner-up, Bollin at 15-2. Balakheri was third at 11-2, with Where or When fourth at 15-2. They sent Sir George Turner off, the 15-8 favourite. But that Moon Ballad, hardly an encouraging trial once again for the Derby. It is, I'm afraid, without Right Approach in it, it is a bore.
Well, it was a fascinating race. The first thing we'll put under the microscope is Right Approach, boys.
Very disappointing to me, and I didn't like the signs early. He's on and off the bridle, and it'd be interesting to see what Kieran says when he comes back in, but that wasn't good what you can see there, on and off the bridle.
Something clearly amiss with him. Maybe he just wants an awful lot further. I don't know. He's just struggled. He should have been able to hold a nice position early on. He was off the bridle, and Kieran had to just roust him up a bit in the early stages. Then didn't look to have anywhere to go. And overall, another disappointing run from him, but he's obviously shown enough at home that there'll be something to come back with him. We saw Sir Michael Stout do that with Golan. having won a classic last year. But up front, Jamie Spencer, never headed at any stage of this race, nicked a couple of lengths out of them when he wanted to. He's not a bad horse. It's be interested to find out from Mac what price he is for the Derby. Balakheri, he's I think there'll be another race to be won with him, but of those chasing, is Sir George Turner has been disappointing. It's Bollin Eric who runs through from out of the pack. He's actually stayed on well, Jim.
Absolutely, he's in the Edward VII. He's not in the Derby, but this evolved a pattern that all bar the winner of the Musidori yesterday has happened at York.